to high copper alloys. It has a copper content of 13 to 30%. They are more preferred because of increased mechanical resistance, to corrosion and tarnish. Second, because they have better marginal integrity. There are of two types. One is admixed and one is single or unicompositional. In this, the irregular and spherical alloy particles have different composition. They have uniform composition, the irregular and spherical alloy particles. Now coming on to the admixed alloys. The admixed alloys were originally created. Now a very important note over here on admixed alloy. Now they were initially in 1970 they were formed by reacting the AgCu eutectic alloy with Ag3Sn and mercury. Now there is a change in nature because we have used AgCu. The nature of the filler has been changed. Nature of filler has been changed. Second, what we observe is there is a change in filler matrix ratio. And due to this, there is a reduction in gamma 2 phase. Now what was gamma 2 phase? Gamma 2 phase was the weakest phase which was formed between tin and mercury. That was SN8Hg, if I'm not wrong. Yes, this is the gamma 2 phase. We have talked about it earlier. So there is a reduction in it. So this gamma 2 phase was weaker and it had no resistance and it was not stable to tarnish and corrosion. So we completely eliminate it. So what happens is this is more strength than lathe cut. This has more strength than lathe cut. Now coming on to the composition. You have Ag, you have Sn, you have Cu, then you have Zn. The Ag as usual 70%, 69 to 70%. Here you have this as reduced amount. This can be 13 to 30% and this can be 1%. Now an important part is setting reaction. The setting reaction, you have to remember it. I'll make it easier for you. So first of all, what we have is Ag3Sn. As I told earlier, we'll react it with the AgCu eutectic alloy. So what I'll do is I'll just add AgCu to it, plus I'll add mercury. Mercury is important to make dental amalgam. So what we observe is what is going to be formed. The similar thing, you will form gamma 1 over here, but you will not form gamma 2. You will form eta phase, which was Cu6SN5, and as usual there will be some unreacted Ag3Sn. So this is our gamma 1, this is our gamma 2, this is gamma 1, and this is eta, and this is beta plus gamma. What was beta? Beta was AgSn. This is also वैसे beta plus gamma only. Now if I have to demonstrate it with a diagram, how will I demonstrate it? Now suppose I have AgSN alloy. AgSN alloy. And I have AgCu eutectic alloy. What will happen is that this will release Ag, this will release Sn, this will release Ag, this will release Sn, this will release a lot of Ag. Ag is silver, and plus let's add on some mercury. Now what you'll see in the second phase, you'll see that here AgCu, it will start forming an eta phase over here, and in AgSN what you'll see is there is a starting or formation of epsilon phase now, but there has to be formation of gamma 1 phase, because in the reaction we formed Ag2He3. Then in the third step what you'll observe is you have AgCu alloy, which will now be completely eta, like you can draw it like this. Then you'll have a matrix. This is a matrix. Over the matrix what you'll observe is AgSN, this will be epsilon, this will be gamma 1 phase, this will be eta phase. Now if I have to explain you the microstructure, what is happening at the microscopic level, what I'll say is the Cu6SN5, which is the eta phase, is surrounding the AgCu particle as demonstrated here. Now what can we see in the final set mixture or metal? The core particle will be of unreacted Ag3Sn and of AgCu particle being surrounded by Cu6 and Sn5 surrounding AgCu. Now what will this core particle be surrounded by? It will be surrounded by matrix, which is formed by gamma phase, which is Ag2Hg